Greetings, African people. For the longest while, I tried to make sense of the condition of Black people in the world. I look at history, I look at our attitudes, I assess my own life to try to make sense and bring meaning to my own existence. And all my experiences teach me wisdom. But I still didn't quite get it. I still couldn't understand why, as a group of people, Black people were so targeted by every other group, and why we didn't have or gain respect from anybody. And I think I understand it. It's making more sense to me. I will provide you with a link below, something I saw on CNN with these Black pastors that met with Donald Trump in closed door kind of meeting. And it just really hit me. Apart from the fact that I finally figured out how religion was like a kind of ball and chain on Black people's minds, I made sense of that. But I didn't realize how far and how deep it went. And I thought that a lot of Black people are into religion, are deeply steeped in religion because they're actually so spiritual. But I realized that some of these pastors that are involved in the ministry are there just for the money. I kind of knew that, but this confirms it. But it also points out another very dangerous thing, and is that we will never be better as a people because not just because we're divided, man against woman, woman against man, men against each other, but because there are a lot of persons in our community who are their enemies. Our real enemy in the Black community is ourselves. We're the one who is preventing ourselves from becoming stronger with our attitudes, with what we do, with our spending power, with the way we see ourselves. You find all these men, talking about slavery, talking about inequality, talking about racism in America and so on. But when you watch them carefully and you listen to them, you think, no wonder you're enslaved. No wonder, because you have this victim mentality. You quickly justify your reason for hating your brother and sister. YouTube gives me a very good and clear insight into the mindset of Black people in America. Some Black people, I feel like I always have to be making, when I say Black people, but it's a generalized term, because I know not every Black person, not every Black man, not every Black woman in America, has these issues. There are some reasonable Black people in America. There are some decent Black people in America. There's some educated, and I'm not talking about just going to school, but real intelligent Black people in America. So it goes without saying. But I think when I sometimes read the comments of men, I am so baffled. I just can't believe what I'm seeing, because I'm saying to myself, here we have adult men, not little boys, adult men saying some of the things that they're saying. And one of the things that I realize, after you've been treated like dirt, you've been stumbled upon by family and friends and strangers, when you live in a country where you're not seen as anything else but the other, individuals harbor these hurt inside of them. And so, what Black people have done over the years, instead of coming together as a collective and going to challenge the individuals that put them in this horrible place, they have strength for each other. That's why you see so much Black and Black crime. And it's amazing to see how men become so empowered and so strengthened against a woman, especially when they see that you're a Black woman. So sometimes it's annoying, but I understand it to a certain extent. I realize that a Black man who feels disenfranchised will try to empower himself by going to a Black woman and demonstrating that he is powerful. And sometimes I feel like I should be just taking a step back and allowing that man to feel good or do what he needs to do to make himself feel like a man. But sometimes it's quite annoying because I'm not a very patient person, as I've said before. Now, in terms of the Donald Trump situation with these pastors, that is an example of the kinds of black people in the community that will sell their mother for a piece of bread. The 100 pastors that are supporting the Donald Trump ministry, I have to call it a ministry, I don't know what else to call it. Those individuals are trying to position themselves so they can benefit. So, but they're so dumb and dunce and so, I don't know, so enslaved in their minds that they don't realize that they're being used. Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about none of these black people in the United States, doesn't give a damn about these pastors, but he realizes that these pastors have thousands of individuals that go to their church every week. And he's already calculated in his mind. He's a businessman. He knows that when I get 100 black pastors, I would have had millions of people to support me. So he brings them in the small meeting and he discusses. And don't you dare think that these black men are going in there because they want to support Donald Trump. They are getting something out of this. But what the black people in the church need to do is take a look and say, these guys that you go to every day and calling them pastor, calling them whatever the hell you call them, these guys are like wolves in sheep clothing, and they will sell you to the devil if they can make a good deal. It's embarrassing. And it's so embarrassing when I see grown, strong men find so much time in their day to go back and forth arguing with a black woman. It is amazing. I'm so disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm really, really disgusted and I'm disappointed. And it is taking everything in me to really stand up and try to defend black men. You see, black men want me to tell them that they're wonderful and that they're great, and yet they serve us no purpose, no function. They are embarrassing to our children. And I am saying that the only reason why individuals have got the message that they can do to our children the things that they're doing to us is because they realize that a lot of our men are not the way they ought to be. And if you are a reasonable man, if you're a man of true integrity, you will not be offended by what I'm saying because you know that does not include you. One gentleman recently wrote a comment on one of my videos and he said, I don't quite remember his expression, but he's saying, you don't take offense to something if it doesn't hit you in a certain place. You won't holler if that stone doesn't hit you or connect with you. But, you know, black people have a problem. And besides the fact that we have been victimized and violated in the past, we can't just sit down as victims and continue to cry and complain. What do you do going forward? It's not just about enslavement, it's about survival and change. And I am not afraid to point out the things that I see that is wrong in my community. And if it means calling the men out, I will do that. People who are religious, I don't want to attack your religion. But I'm asking you to take a look at this situation with these pastors and know that there are many more of them who are deceiving you, using the Bible and fear to capture your minds. And these guys, they don't care about your well being. They're trying to do something for themselves. It is so pathetic. It is really pathetic. The division between black people is a real one. It's a real problem. And I find that the strength that you try to throw off on each other would be better used to serve your purpose. I can't say that enough. I worry about the next generation of black children. I worry about the black boys and the influence of their fathers or the absence of their fathers. And there is something that some men keep doing. They keep saying, oh, you don't have a man, or that's why you're bitter, you're angry, and it doesn't make any sense because these individuals are talking about somebody that they don't know. You don't know me, and I don't know you. But I think the truth is something that it burns, it hurts. I didn't know that so many men felt emasculated, and so many men are hurting inside. But I also didn't know that there were so many men who only felt power in addressing women, attacking women, because a lot of are real, some serious attacks. The men in other parts of the world are not perfect. Men in Africa are not perfect. But I still stand by the fact that the showing, the quality men that are maybe there's something about YouTube, because really of a fact, anybody can be on YouTube. It has all kinds of things that can educate and inform you. So I don't want to throw any disrespect to people, but I'm just saying the quality people that come on and comment, sometimes I feel embarrassed. I feel like, whoa, if these are the kind of people I draw to my channel, something isn't right. But I also understood from one, I don't know if it's a subscriber or someone that I've been talking back and forth with, and he said that he found up my video through another person, and I don't want to call his name. Another man was mentioned in my video, and I saw he probably didn't do it in a disrespectful way, and suddenly all these men decided that they wanted to come and challenge me. Challenge me? You feel some kind of power to try to challenge a woman? No, challenge yourselves. Channel your mindset. Find ways to cause other people to look upon you, because what you fail to understand is that when other women in the world see you saying these things about a female, they will not look upon you favorable. So even though a black woman might be on the side of a black man, because she's a woman, she will see something happening to another female, whether she's black or not, and she'll go to that person's defense. And so if you think that you're going to gain the respect from other women for saying all these horrible things, I am just feeling sorry for you. Pastors in these black church, most of them are scammers. And individuals are allowing themselves to be scammed by these sharks, these sheeps in whatever clothing that they wear. Let the 100 men who stand beside Donald Trump demonstrate to you the real problem in the black community, and how willing those who you look up to, those who lead you in deception, are willing to benefit from your ignorance. I have no problems with Donald Trump trying to get the black community to vote for him. He's a businessman. He's a shark. He must do what he has to do. I have no issues with him. What I do see, though, more and more, I see it, even as someone who is working on becoming an independent woman, a person who doesn't answer to anybody, a person who has my own business. I'm beginning to see the trouble in our community, and how the idea that you might be coming out of poverty, or the idea that you're going to be independent, it's a problem for individuals in our community. We'll never be better. Our situation is terrible, and we are very ignorant, and we are very willing to stay in that ignorance. Until your back is against the wall. You will never know. No amount of talking, no amount of sharing, no amount of cursing and insulting, no strategy that I use to try to awaken you. You will not awaken. You will not hear anything that I'm saying until your back is against the wall. Be blessed. Be blessed, African people. Stay your path. Go your course. If fire doesn't awaken you and flood doesn't awaken you, bullets will awaken you. Support Donald Trump.